today we'll discuss about the items that are payable and the items that are not payable for zakat, and we'll also look at the rent of zakat. So in our previous class we discussed about the conditions for the payment of zakat and also the conditions for the distribution of zakat. We also talked about the 8 recipients of zakat, which are mentioned in the Holy Quran. So we'll start with the items that are payable of zakat. So the items which you can pay as zakat. So one of the items that the domestic animals such as the camels, the sheep, the oxen, which are not kept as articles of trade. So these are animals that are not, you have them but you have not kept them as articles of trade, then you can, because they are domestic animals, so you can give them as zakat. You can give them out as zakat, that's one. Then we have the agricultural produce such as crops and fruits of field like wheat, barley, dates, raisin, rice, maize and vegetables. So when you have agricultural produce, then you can, that is the crops and the fruits, you can give them out as zakat. We'll talk about the rate later on, inshallah. Then another item are gold, silver and other mineral products. So if you have gold and silver and they have reached nisab, then you can give out as zakat. So that's another item. Then we have the dug-out treasures whose ownership has not been identified for 1 year. So these are treasures that people have found that they have dug them out, and the owner of that treasure is not identified yet, and the treasure has been there for a whole year. Then they can give, if it has reached nisab, then they can give that treasure as zakat. Then another item is trade and merchandise, that is goods for trade. So if you have goods and you have them and it has reached nisab, then you can give them out as zakat. Then we have savings from the sale of goods should be paid for zakat after a year. So when you are a business person and you have your savings from the good that you have sold, then this savings has been in your possession for a whole year, then you can give out, if it has reached nisab, that is, you can give that savings as zakat. Then also the savings from the house rent and land rent. So if you are a landlord and you have been saving the rent, or also you have land that you have leased or something, then you have been saving these rents and they have been in your possession for a whole year, then you can give, and it has reached nisab, then you can give out as zakat. Then personal income. You have your income, you are working and you have your salary, and the salary has, you have been saving the money, maybe it's assumed it's the money, and it has been there for a whole year, then you can give as zakat. So these are the items that one can pay as zakat. So let's look at now the item that one cannot pay. They are not payable as zakat. So these are items in which zakat is not payable. One of the items is the private houses in which the owner dwells in. So the house that you are living in, it's yours, you own it, but of course you won't be paying any rent. So that house you can neither sell it or pay zakat for it, because it's yours and you are living in it. So if you have private houses that you're not renting, then there's no no need for you to pay zakat. Then we also have animals used for transportation. If you have animals and you use them to transport goods, or you use them as transportation, then you don't have to give them out as zakat. Then the furniture or clothing or weapons, or also tools for daily use, like if you have your sofa, if you have clothes in your closet maybe, and also some weapons, or the tools like sufurias, the microwaves, and so on. If you use them, you don't have to give them out as zakat. Then another tool, these are the books which are not for sale. There are some books which are given out for free, so you cannot use those books to give as zakat. Then jewelries or ornaments which have not reached nisab. So because in the payable, items which are payable as zakat, we talked about the gold and jewelry, gold and silver, and also other minerals, produce or products. One can pay zakat, but now these are jewelries or ornaments which you wear them and they have not reached nisab, then you cannot give them out as zakat. If it reaches nisab, then you will give out as zakat. You give them out as zakat. Then machinery used for manufacture of goods. So if you have your machine and it's working, but you're using it to manufacture goods, then you don't have to give it out as zakat. So those are the items that are used to pay. Not to pay, they cannot be given out. They cannot be given out as zakat. So let's look at now the rate of zakat. The rate of zakat. So we are saying that the ability to pay zakat depends on nisab. And we say that nisab, this is the minimum amount that is payable as zakat. So if you have wealth and it has reached nisab, that is the minimum amount that you can pay as zakat, then you have to pay zakat. So we look at the table later on, which will illustrate now the payment of gold and silver and also money later on. So we are saying that all other items like goods for trade and income value in monetary terms will depend on the equivalent cost for gold and silver in open market. So if you have, assume you have goods or maybe it's clothing, and you want to give them out, it's let's say an example, money, assume it's money, and you want to give that money as zakat. So you will have to confirm the rate for the gold or silver in the market, and now you compare it with the money that you have. So it should be equivalent to the rate of the gold and the silver in the market. And now it's when you calculate your zakat in the goods that you own. So let's look at this table. So we have the liable wealth that you may own. We have gold, silver, and money. Then for gold, the payable minimum nisab is 85. So if it has reached 85 grams, then the proportion is 2.5% of the gold that you have. If it's silver and the nisab, the minimum, the amount that it should reach for you to be able now to pay zakat is 595 grams of silver, then you will have to pay to calculate 2.5% or 2.5% of the silver or the gold that you have. So the nisab for gold is 85 grams and the nisab for silver is 595 bucks. Then, if it's money, money is equivalent of the equivalent of nisab for gold and silver. That is 2.5% or 5/200. So if we say if you have money, it should be the money that you have. You should go to the market and confirm the rate for the gold or silver. Then now you calculate your zakat in the money that you have. So the nisab gold is 85. The nisab for silver is 585. And if it's money, it should be equivalent to the nisab of gold and the nisab of silver. Then the proportion is 2.5% of the wealth that you have. So we'll continue in our next